Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Messages from Above with Toni G. Toni is a world-renowned psychic medium. She has had the gift of being a psychic medium and channel her entire life. Toni hosts 2 TV shows, Create a Life You Love and Psychic Medium Toni G. She is also the author of 5 books. Being a healer and a hypnotist as well, it is her purpose and her passion to help you in every way she can. Phone lines are open now. Call in 858-365-5593 and let Toni answer your questions about life, love, finances, or help you connect with a loved one on the other side. Enjoy the show. Good morning and happy Monday. Here in the U.S., we are going into the week of Thanksgiving. And you know, it's been quite a year so far, hasn't it? Right? So today I want to talk about a few things. And one of the biggest things I want to discuss today is fear versus faith, or knowing, or love, because there's only, one true thing in this world, and it's love. Fear is an illusion of what could go wrong, or the past repeating itself. And let me tell you, yes, things happen, and then something will happen again, but it's never exactly the same. It's different circumstances, different whatever. So if we get fired from a job once, we have that fear of getting fired again. If somebody cheats on us, we have that fear of being cheated on again. Even if we deny it, it's someplace inside of us. If we lose money or get ripped off or feel like we've been scammed, we have that fear that that's going to happen again. So some of this is some things that have happened to us that we're afraid of happening. We don't have faith that, okay, I've learned that, I've gone through that, it was that person, that circumstance, there was something better for me. We never think about that. There was something better for me that I needed to get out of this situation, and there was something better waiting, and so now here I am, especially with careers, jobs, and partners. And then the other part is things that we grew up with, that our parents, be careful when, we're leaving the house. Be careful. This could happen to you. So that fear is there, right, from a very young age. Now, on the other hand, there's all this really, really interesting, let's just call it a theory for the moment, that what we think and what we believe we are creating. And I've had this happen in my life so many times, and I've had it happen both ways, for the good and the not so good. And what I can tell you is this: if you just focus on the good and the positive, and anything that makes you focus on what you don't want, it might be a good idea to kind of slide that out of your life. Okay, and hopefully I'll remember to touch back on that. So focusing on the good and being in that space where you're only thinking of the things that you want, it's not easy in the beginning. But if you're consistent, you reprogram your thoughts, you reprogram your beliefs, and you get there. And then those things that you want start happening, and you're more in that space of faith, right? And you're leaving that space of fear. When you focus on the things you don't want, one of the things it does is it slows down your path, because your energy is going in a direction it shouldn't be going. Now, I'm a believer that we do have a bit of control in what we're creating. We make conscious choices every day. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm not going to do this. So if we're making conscious choices, we're making the decision for that. But even our subconscious choices, feelings, and thoughts are coming into the surface to help us make choices of what we want and what we don't want. And if we've decided we don't want something, why do we have to continue to think about it? Why don't we just focus on what we want? Fear of it happening again, or what we don't want showing up. So, having said all of this, I'm going to do a clearing, because I like to start with a clearing, to let go of fear, right? Because we all have fear, and fear does not compartmentalize. I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I'll continue to say it. Fear doesn't just stay in one topic of your brain. Eventually, it spreads through every topic, every area. And I'll bet you, if you're afraid of one thing, eventually you will have fear for everything, okay? A fear of loss of a partner will eventually be a fear of loss of anything and everything. So let's just do a clearing on fear. And, I'm going to say, given the state of the world right now, I'm going to keep this clearing very general and very open, because there are no matter who you are wanting in office, no matter whether you believe in masks or no masks, vaccines or no vaccines, whether you believe in staying home, being a prisoner of your home, or being free, there's a lot of fear out there today. There's a tremendous amount of fear on every front. And to that I say, about all the things I just mentioned, turn off your effing TV. There's an agenda going on. And you really need to not let media, whether it be commercials, news, any social media, any of it, decide how you feel about something and what you should do with your life and where you should be with that life. If a container says, this does not protect from this, and then the whole world is saying, you must wear this to protect from this, that's the most ludicrous effing thing I've ever heard in my life. Right on the mask box, it says, does not protect from coronavirus. Here's media. Wear a mask to protect yourself and everybody else from coronavirus. But it says right on the box, does not protect from. So where do we go with that? What do we believe? And then why are we doing it? We know factually masks stop our oxygen to our brain, which cause hundreds of problems, potentially. But let's go back to fear, because this is now people are just going to be focused on whether they should wear a mask or not, and they're already arguing their case to tell me about it, right? And by the way, if you don't like something I say in my show, I understand. I do, but you don't need to call or email me and tell me you didn't like it. It's okay. You can have your opinion. It's okay. I will honor your opinion. I don't need to personally hear about it. Okay, now, not that I don't love you. I love you, but just I'm okay if people don't love every word I say. I'm okay if people don't like me. I'm good like that. Now, if we're in a place of fear on any level for anything, how can we be creating what we really want if all we're thinking about and focused on is what can go wrong and why and how badly? We're not focused on what can go right and why and how. We're not. We're focused on the opposite. Now, I'm going to just, again, do this clearing. We have fear. Of course we do. We're going to clear that. And this clearing is going to be for, anybody listening, re-listening, along with just putting it out there in the universe right now. Because, and I'm just going to say this. I don't know if I should. I really want to. They really want me to. The angels really want me to say this. And so usually if I try not to say it, they just blurb it out of my mouth anyway. One thing that most people are not privy to is what's going on in other parts of the world. It's really being, what do they call that? We're only seeing what the powers that be want us to see, unless we do some deep searches. And then we realize, and people are going to say, did you hear this on Fox? Did you hear this on CNN? No, I search out videos, the actual video of really what's going on in the streets in Italy. Search videos for what's going on in the streets of Italy, what's going on in the streets of Greece, going on in the streets of Australia, what's going on in the streets of the UK. And I've never seen, and what's going on with DACA. If you really want to know, there's a great video about DACA, DACA. And you know what? And if you don't, that's okay. Sometimes some people can't. It's okay if you're comfortable where you are, but we have to get out of our comfort zone. We have to want to know the bigger picture. Oh, that was beautifully stated. Thank you, angels. We have to want to know the bigger picture. What's the real agenda? We have to want to know that. Okay, having said all of that, I'm going to continue to clear fear through this whole show. I'll clear other things, but I will continue to clear fear because we don't want fear in our personal life, in our professional life, in our relationships. We don't want fear in any part of our life at all. Okay? We want to be able to show up and be brilliant and strong and empowered and filled with knowing, which is another word for faith. We just want to have that knowing that it's okay. We are okay. Everything is okay. So, that was a big start for the show for me, because I sometimes after I'm done channeling, and yes, I do channel the beginning of my show, most of it, and I actually channel most of my show. So when things come out of my mouth, it's not willy-nilly, it's not my opinion 99% of the time. It is channeling, angels coming through and speaking just giving that information out. Remember, and here they go again, you are an energetic being, okay? What you put in your energy, meaning thoughts, ideas, beliefs, programs, what other people have put in your energy, meaning thoughts, ideas, beliefs, programs, is your energy base. The more you can remove from this energy that does not fit your personal plan, the better you're going to be. Now, I'm going to say this, and it's so important. Think of yourself as a supercomputer, because you really, really are. Think about this. You breathe and you don't think about breathing, right? You just breathe every day. You do it in your sleep. You do it when you're awake. And thank goodness we don't have control over the thinking of our breathing, because we would freak out about our breathing and think we're taking too much breath and we're being greedy with air and stop, or we're not getting enough, and it would be ridiculous, right? We walk without really thinking about it. We want to walk, we just get up, we start walking. We don't really think about that. It's on automatic pilot. Our eyes blink without us thinking about it, right? Things catch the corner of our eyes automatically go there. We don't think about that, right? That's an auto program on our computer. Now, there are auto programs that are thought processes like, I'm going to go eat, I'm hungry. I'm going to go get a snack because I'm nervous. We don't say because I'm nervous, but that's really why we snack, because we're nervous, or we're craving a snack, right? But it's auto programmed. We're on autopilot with us. There are other programs that are autopilot, also the negative programs, and that's what the next clearing is going to be. Those negative autopilot programs, and let's start that now. We're going to clear that. We're going to start that, and I implore you to listen and re-listen to these clearings, because every time you do, it'll go deeper and it will take more. We want to believe we're running the show, some of us. I believe in a bit of destiny. I have a lot of prophetic dreams. Since I can tell the future for people, I have to believe there's some kind of destiny to that, right? So I truly believe in destiny. And but I also believe our choices take us there. We can slow down our destiny. We can stop momentarily our destiny. We can totally sidetrack and sabotage our destiny. And I want to tell you, nobody, not one person here is supposed to have a miserable existence, an unhappy existence. Not one person here is supposed to be in a situation where they're not loving their life 100%. And sometimes we make choices because we think this is the choice we have to make. But what if it's a choice we didn't have to make? What if we're making that choice on unhealthy emotions like guilt and shame and fear? Let me repeat that. What if you're making your choices on guilt and shame and fear? I'm unhappy with my job, but I'm going to stay there because I'm afraid there's not something better. I'm unhappy in my relationship, but I can't leave because I'll hurt that person. That is the biggest crock of poop I've ever heard. Because if somebody did that to you, you would be like, you stayed with me because you felt sorry for me? Because you were afraid you were going to hurt me? Come on now, folks. Okay, I'm staying with this because I have guilt. If those are all autopilot programs also, and it's time to really clear that out, to look at why am I making the choices that I am making? What's at the base of it? Is it fear? Is it guilt? Is it shame? Is this choice bringing me happiness, joy, or turmoil and drama? And then from there you can make a better choice. But I'm going to tell you there is a destiny, and eventually that destiny will kick in. And that might look like your life falling apart, but it does sometimes look that way because we're not completely where we could be, should be. There might be a higher purpose, a better purpose for us. So I'm going to go to callers now. And when I say your area code, please tell me your name and where you're calling from. I'm going to go to 203. Hello, 203. How are you today?
Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. What's your name?
My name's Pat in Connecticut.
Hi, Pat. How are you? I know who you are.
I know. I miss you, but I listen to you every week, and gosh, your releases are so powerful.
Thank you so much. How can I help you today, love?
Well, this is I'm still doing healing. I'm not looking for this right away, but it's a package deal. I really am ready to have a companion life for the rest of my life, but I'm also looking for security and to be living in nature and to be able to afford a life that I want, which is caring for animals, caring for myself, traveling. Anyway, it's a package deal, but,
I said, wow, since the last time you and I have talked, since the last time I cannot stress to you the difference in your voice and in your requests. There's so much stress and trauma that has been lifted. And I love that for you. I can hear it. I can literally hear it in your voice and where you've been and where you are now. Such an amazing difference. And sometimes, we don't notice those changes in ourselves because they happen incrementally, day by day. But when somebody hears us after not speaking with us for a bit of time, it really comes through. So congratulations. I'm so proud of you. So let's talk about some of what you're looking for here. These things are going to come in one by one. And I'm gonna just say that you are stuck. You're not stuck. You're ready, willing, and able for a healthy, happy. Yep, you are. I don't know if it's the clearings from the show and other healings, but whatever you're doing, just keep it up. It's working amazingly on you. She's ready to move forward. Yep, everything I'm testing is coming out the right way for you. What I'm going to say is in about something's going to pop for you in a month and a half. And then at the 4-month mark, things are really going to move forward quite quickly. So be ready by the 4-month mark. And again, re-listen to these shows until you have them memorized seriously.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you that you are going to meet someone. You have the opportunity, the possibility to meet someone in a month and a half. I'm not going to tell you this is your ever after person. Sometimes we get a person that helps us ease back into it, right?
Yeah.
And then about the 3, and we do need that person, so don't skip it. It'll be good companionship, good conversation, and then right about between the 3 and 4 month mark, there's somebody else coming in, and this is going to be a really magnificent person. Now, in the beginning when I was talking about destiny, and I love destiny, this is one of those things that if you put off the person a month and a half, until you have that experience, you won't have the next experience because there are things you need to grasp in comfort with a partner. And this person coming in about a month and a half, even if it's a friend, is going to help you grasp those comfort zones in partnership. And then about between the 3 and 4 month mark, somebody's going to come in that is a really good match for you. This person loves nature, loves all things wild, and a little bit tame. And this is going to be a really good fit. So I'm going to tell you right about that month and a half mark, start looking around.
Okay.
if the world goes cattywonk and we're all shut down again,
Yeah.
then the timeline might be pushed out a bit. But as of right now, as everything sits right now, this is what your timeline looks like. Okay, love?
Yes, and it's interesting. I would be tempted to skip the first one, absolutely. So this is good advice. And I need to call you for an appointment because I've also been devastated, as you were talking about too. And I'm confused about that. What's the wait period on a reading with you?
Oh, you know what? I am able to get people in much more quickly and efficiently now because of all the phone readings. So it's much easier to schedule. So when you're ready, just give me a call and I will get you in. And thank you so much for asking that.
Oh, thank you. And just so your audience knows, I read that you do hypnosis too, which is something that I had needed. That caught my attention. May I just ask, am I going to be okay financially? I've been devastated with the car negligence by my mechanic, and I'm coping with it right now.
You are going to be okay. You need to make some better choices in the future, and I'm hearing that you need to research things a little bit more. You're kind of trusting, and you kind of you don't want to you don't want to you're so non-confrontational, and nobody wants to be confrontational. It's not about being confrontational, but we have to be able to say, this isn't right. I want you to make it right. And I will say one thing I've personally learned is look up those reviews, especially for mechanics. They might not have all the good reviews, but when somebody really doesn't do a good job, people will complain online about them, especially a mechanic. Mechanics and products. So that's what I would say for you, to definitely do that. And but I do feel like there is going to be a little help, a little bit of not a lot of financial help, but a little bit of financial help coming in toward the end of the month for you. Nothing major, just a little bump, and it will be helpful for you. Okay, love?
God bless you so much. Thank you. You're amazing. And I wish you'd give an extra day talking about the world and what's really going on, because I know you've got an inside look into this.
You want to know what's really funny? I'm gonna close out my show with you, and I'm gonna tell you that every time I start talking, even if I bring up the word politics or presidential, callers drop like flies. They just hang up the phone, and I get it. People don't want to hear it, but it's amazing to. Yes, and I get it. We're being bombarded on every end, and this is been a really interesting time in our life. But one thing, and I have listeners from all over the world who contact me and say, please let your current president stay in. We need him for our freedom. And it amazes me that people from Australia and even the Middle East and other parts of the world are saying this to me, and they're aware of the political outfall. And the Americans are just so, some, not all, are really not even aware of it. And again, I'm going to say, research the DACA meetings, research what the Great Reset is, research what New World Order really is. The first Bush started saying it, right? And nobody is paying attention to how they slowly integrated this into normalcy for us. And how is it possible that at the same time in every single country they're doing the same exact things. When in the world has this ever happened if it's not orchestrated from a higher level that is not having our best intentions in mind? And people, please, don't take my word for it. There is a video out there that lays it all out, not out of our president's mouth, but out of the mouths of the people that are orchestrating this. It's on my Facebook page. It's on my timeline. Okay. Go find it. Go find it. As a matter of fact, I will find it and put it back at the top of my timeline. Yes, I will.
A couple of
show is officially over.
Are we going to be okay, Toni?
We are. People are going to be really surprised, and I said it from the beginning. And you know what? Here's what I'll say. Thank you so much for calling in today. I'm really grateful for your call. I need to let everybody know I'm here every Monday at noon for 30 minutes. And if you did not get through today, I apologize. Please call back next week, and I will be happy, so happy to take your call. Until then, please be safe, be happy, and be loved.